Good morning, everyone. We're going to begin with the December 27, 2023 regular meeting of the Wilson County Commissioners Court. Let the minutes reflect that we have a quorum. We have Commissioner Martin is not with us today. We're going to begin with the prayer and our pledges. Stand. Heavenly Father, we ask you to bless this day, bless this county, and bless all our leaders in this county that we may move forward in this new year of 2024 so that we can continue to improve the quality of life for all our citizens. We ask you to pray for all our servicemen and women that are in conflict today and all those that are suffering around the world. We ask you in your Son's name, Jesus, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible. Agenda item number 3, do we have anybody signed up for public comments? No public comments. We have our agenda item number 4, certificates of completion and award. This is blinking. Can you hear me? Okay. Didn't know whether it was working or not. I have one certificate of course completion for Paternity Opportunity Program for Genevieve Martinez, Wilson County Clerk's Office, and we'll enter that in. Is there another one? The same certificate of completion for Crystal Hidalgo. Agenda item number 5, we have Brenda Trevino, our county auditor, and we're going to go to 5A, discuss and take action on recommendations from ARPA Committee 2 on the following purchases. 1, county precinct shared entree chip spreader and entree centennial distributor truck for a total of $620,569.01. 2, a Good Sam Instant Help 1911 dispatch service for $355,000 pending ESD and dispatch meeting approval. 3, Wilson County Wellness Center not to exceed $2,350,000. And 4, upgrades and renovation of Wilson County Expo and Community Center not to exceed $2,350,000. You have the floor, Ms. Trevino.
Thank you, Judge. Oh, it's up with that. Yes.
I'll bring you mine. Or you
I'll-
take one. Take yours.
It didn't turn on.
Didn't turn on. Go on the bottom.
Underneath
Right
is-
on the
I don't
bottom.
Need it?
Just push that and hold it for a little bit. There you go.
Oh, again,
Nope.
there.
All right.
Now can you hear me? Thank you, Judge and Commissioners. Okay, on December the 11th, the American Rescue Plan Second Committee met and discussed several options. At this time, the current balance, minus the 2 previously approved projects, which were the EDOC software for the attorney, clerks, and sheriff's office, and the feasibility study for the fiber optic. Current balance is $5,760,325.35. So the committee met on December 11th and came up with some recommendations for the court's consideration for the use of the remaining funds. The first item, and you should have a copy of the quotes in there from Cooper for county precinct shared chip spreader and a distributor truck. And both of those total $620,569.01. Those will be pieces of equipment to be shared by all 4 precincts to benefit all of the roads within Wilson County. Judge, do we want to go one by one, or do you?
Yeah, let's
Okay.
do that individually, and just let me open the floor up to the commissioners to talk about this piece of equipment so that the citizens know what it's going to be used for.
And the 2 quotes from Cooper Equipment, one is $368,606.66. That is for the chip spreader. And the distributor is $251,962.35. Commissioner Martin was the one that worked with Cooper to get the buy board pricing, so this is the lowest price available through government pricing. Therefore, we did not have to go out for bid, and I'm not sure if he,
Martin and I both.
okay, I think one of the commissioners could speak to it, yes, Commissioner Perdola.
The Etnar chip spreader that we currently have is an early 90-something model, and it's got a lot of wear, a lot of age on it. And the other problem is we only have one to share between 4 commissioners. So every time the weather gets good enough for us to do this, we're all 4 fighting for the same piece of equipment. And it's a piece of equipment that sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Our Etnar oil truck is a 2014 model, and seems like every time we go to use it, there's something wrong with it. So it just keeps throwing us further and further back on our road repairs because of the age of the equipment, where these will, actually, I found out the chip spreader was bought secondhand, so it wasn't even new when the county purchased it. So this will give us hopefully 2 new pieces of equipment that we'll be able to use and won't be broke down every time we go to use it, and we can use the other for backup, hopefully keep them in good repairable, usable condition to give us more options to get these roads repaired. Anybody else?
No, I agree with that because, I mean, we've had our own issues, one of us holding it up, especially me, for a couple times. And then every time I go to use it or every time somebody else takes it, something else is wrong where we're in repair of it. So I think this is a good thing. At least we'll have 2 on hand. One actually durable, the other one we can get where it needs to be, so less repairs are hopefully on it.
I agree, sir. It's trying to deal with the logistics of 4 commissioners as well as the age of the unit. There's always something going on with it.
And just for the record, Mr. Trevino, this funding is from ARPA, and it does include we can use it for these equipment, just for the record, so that the people who are listening understand.
Yes, sir. The money is to be used to benefit the taxpayers in the county, and it's my understanding these 2 pieces of equipment will assist in that manner.
This was those funds that Henry Cuellar got us.
It's from the coronavirus relief fund from the state.
All right, Commissioners, I'll entertain a motion for agenda item 5A1.
Make a motion that we approve the purchase of the Etnar chip spreader and the Etnar distributor truck for a total of $620,569.01.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Peridola and seconded by Commissioner King. Is there any other discussion regarding agenda item 5A1?
Will you just please note, Judge, to be paid using the ARPA funds in that motion for the minutes, just so that we have it in the minutes?
You want to amend that right quick, Commissioner?
Yes, I'll amend that to include that total of $620,569.01 be paid for out of the ARPA funds.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Motion made and amended. No other discussion? Hear none, a call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against? Ayes have it, motion passes. We move now to agenda item 5A2.
Thank you, Judge. The second item we had a presentation during the meeting on December 11th from Dr. Winkler, who is the medical director for ESD 1, I believe, and 3, I'm sorry, ESD 3. And Mr. Gary Williams, who is affiliated with Conley Memorial. And you should have some paperwork in your binder regarding Good Sam Instant Help. And I don't know if, Judge, did you want me to speak to it regarding what it is, or did you want us?
Well, I can.
Okay.
I'll speak to, because it's going to be pending. I don't even know if we should even vote on it until we get the report back from
Right.
ESDs, unless somebody's here to speak on, from the ESDs. But it's a very good application. In a nutshell, once somebody calls in an emergency, I'm going to give you a scenario. Somebody's having a heart attack, they're stopped on the side of the road, 911's called, 911 can text the connection to their phone. That person, whoever it may be, can connect on that link, and their phone now becomes a live video feed to the hospital or the paramedics, and then they can also, am I saying this right, guys?
That is in part, but.
That's in part,
it-
yeah.
It can be all three services if
Can be
they're.
police officers too, so.
Right.
It's being used in San Antonio right now. I know that we had somebody from STRAC up here last meeting that explained it. It's impressive. But it has never been used with law enforcement yet. So I don't know how it's going to work with law enforcement, but it will work in the medical. If it saves a life, one life, I think the money's well spent.
Yeah, I think that one of the main objects or points of interest in it was being able to give someone clear direction on any cardiac arrest, how to do CPR if someone doesn't know how to do that, and the dispatcher is able to walk somebody through that. It also has like instant on-scene video, multiple languages, being able to do vital signs, and so you should have a presentation in there. One of the questions, there were several questions that were posed in our December 11th meeting as to whether or not all of the ESDs were on board in utilizing it. The $355,000 would be year one, and then thereafter, I'm sorry.
I believe it was 3 years.
Oh, it is 3 years. I'm sorry. It's startup price for 3 years, and then year after, the question remained on who was going to basically fit the bill, and if that would be split among all of the ESDs, and those are just unknowns at this time. So the ESDs and dispatching services will be having a meeting, I believe on the 10th, I believe on January the 10th. And we thought it would be a good idea to have Dr. Winkler and Mr. Williams be present at that meeting to discuss this and just get everyone's buy-in, and then bring it back to the court for your review and consideration if that's something that the county wants to pursue as well. So I don't know if that's something, like Judge said, if that's something that you want to table till the next meeting. And if so, we can certainly do that and provide more feedback then.
So, Commissioners, I would really like to wait to see what the other ESDs have to say about it, and if they're all in concert together, then we bring it back. So should we table it, if that would be the wish?
Has anybody reached out to the other ESD?
We have, one of the ESD personnel is supposed to reach out to the others and get that done.
The meeting has been scheduled already for January the 10th, but I don't know that they've been fully given all of the information and data to, and I
Have you
believe
heard
the
of this,
sheriff's
You haven't? Okay.
department we were gonna need some feedback from him and the dispatchers as well, because ultimately, in a sense, this is a dispatcher tool. So the dispatchers are going, would need to be able to go through training. And so the sheriff certainly would have to provide his input on whether or not this is something he wants to pursue as well.
So with that, that means that it's gonna miss the next commissioner's court, so it won't even go to court till the 22nd.
Yeah. And there's no deadline on this. This is actually, they're using it in, what was the country, Judge? I don't remember.
The UK,
Yeah, I think
UK.
it was developed in the UK, and it's just starting to come this way. And I believe Bear County uses some of it.
County uses it.
Yeah, mm-hmm. So,
Sheriff, who's your,
yeah.
So we need to table this till the 22nd.
I'll entertain a motion to table agenda item 5A2.
I'll make a motion that we table this until the Commissioners Court meeting of the 22nd of January.
second.
Motion made by Commissioner Paradola, seconded by Commissioner King. Is there any other discussion on agenda item number 5.2? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against, motion passes. All right, before I move on, do we have another microphone back there?
Here.
Mic test, oh, I think this one's working now, Judge. No, it's just my voice carrying.
Okay. Agenda item number 5.3A3, Wilson County Wellness Center, not to exceed $2,350,000.
Yes, so Judge, I'll let you kind of talk a little bit about the details regarding the vision of the Wilson County Wellness Center. The committee decided to come to the court with a recommendation on the remaining monies being split between the potential Wilson County Wellness Center and upgrades to the Expo and Community Center, formerly known as the Show Barn, at $2.35 million. We're not sure if either of those would use up all of that money, but not to exceed that amount. So I'll turn it over to the judge.
So this would be just to park $2.3 million of ARPA funding to build a wellness center for the county. We are currently been notified that our food pantry is going to be losing their building. The independent school district here is going to have to take that building back where our food pantry's at down the street due to their increasing size with children coming in. They're going to have to use that. We feed over 1,500 people in this county a month, 1,500 that don't have enough money to feed themselves. So we need to take a good look at that. And our organization down the street is fed entirely by donations. We don't provide anything but that parking lot that they park in. The other thing is, we don't have a location to take our senior citizens to feed them daily. They're going all the way out to the Expo Center. And utilizing that facility, this would be a much better place for them to go to. The facility, in our mind, would also house our veteran service officer who's here today. He has a little bitty office. We are servicing, and when he comes up to give his report, he'll tell you how many veterans come into his office every day. That would be a good fit for him out there as well. The last thing we'd like to put out there is our AgriLife personnel who are downstairs here who do quite a bit for our community, especially when it comes to nutrition for our elderly. This would be a good fit for them to have their offices moved there to give their classes to our aging population that would use the facility for other services as well. So it's just a thought process. We just want to park that money, and we have the property. Our thought process would be next to the new EMC at where the sheriff's office is at. There's plenty of acreage there to house a building that we've just described here. So again, just the thought process to kind of park that funding there for something that's really needed in this community.
So what we're asking the court is to allow the committee to move forward with doing what it takes to get the pricing. We don't know yet exactly what it's going to cost us. And so before moving forward, we needed the court's consideration to allow us to move forward with going out for bid for general contractors, whatever it may take, anything that we would need to go out for bid for. And so before doing that, we would need your approval to do so.
Architectural plan.
Yes, sir. To the engineering and architect to draw up the plans and so forth.
Yeah, the size we're looking at, I don't think it's going to take that much amount of money to build that. But we feel that to be the best place next to the sheriff's office because of security reasons for the people who will be there. And they can respond quickly if something happens with medical services or other things, so.
The only thing is, we keep putting stuff at the sheriff's office. Traffic is an issue already in that area. That's my biggest drawback to this right here is we're gonna have more traffic right there in one more area. Putting an EMC center in there, hopefully we don't have a disaster anytime soon, but when everybody comes in, FEMA, whoever, the state, local resources for a disaster on top of we having a food pantry there and we're taking care of our own, you know, that's just one of my biggest concerns right now of stacking things in that lot of the sheriff's department area. I mean, all the traffic is right there. You have HEB, you got Circle K, you have, that's all downtown Floresville almost, not downtown, but main throat, 97 coming in. So you have trucks in and out at all points. Sand trucks, we're not getting rid of oil. It's gonna be here for a while.
Okay, I'm going to entertain a motion for 5A3 to park $2.3 million for the Wellness Center project.
I'll make a motion that the ARPA committee continue getting pricing and so forth and looking at other options of locations as well, and park this 2.35 million for the wellness center at this time.
Okay, motion made by Commissioner Perdola. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. Motion made by Commissioner Perdola, second by Commissioner King. Is there any other discussion? I want to throw just a comment on that. That wouldn't be the only property that we own. We do own the property behind the Canary Islander Cemetery, which would probably, if there was a way of getting to it, which we could, would probably relieve that congestion part of it.
And that'd be a good thought. Also, Judge, and I know the food pantry, is it Floresville or FEDC? One of them do a lot with that. Are they putting anything into this project, or is this all gonna be on the county after the funds are paid out of the ARPA? Is this gonna be a county maintained, everything maintained, parking lot, the whole 9 yards?
There has been discussion with them that they would like to join in some manner to support the facility, whether it's with personnel, stuff like that. Yeah, so they have, yes. It wasn't just the FEDC, it was also the city of Floresville. We got to keep in mind, we have people that come in here to get their food rations every week that are not just from Floresville. They come from all parts of the county, even though we do have food pantries other places.
That's what I'm saying,
Right.
so it's gonna be a combined effort to take care of the building. and
That's
take care
what
of
we would like to
personnel.
see it as, yeah.
Okay. I just wanna make sure that the audience knows
Right.
that it's not just for the county, it's, Floresville's included, Lavernier's included. I mean, as a county, it's just,
And
other entities are included into this.
And you just brought another good point up. So when I was in Washington, what was it, 3 weeks ago? Okay, so we did speak to people at USDA, the Veterans Administration, the SBA, and we told them what we wanted to do with this facility, and they said, we have grants that can be written that y'all can submit to us, so there's additional funding that we could go out to and grab and to help with this facility.
Mr. Aker, did you have something a while ago? You started to say something.
I was having a clear and concise map of all the county-owned properties, because we keep coming up with projects where we're gonna put things on it, would be helpful whenever we're talking about exactly where we're gonna put it. Of course, we know we're gonna put the EOC there, and I'm trying to figure out in relation, if we use that same property, where it would be. I know that we have,
I can provide you a list of the properties that will at least give you the addresses to where all of the county properties own, and then maybe take a drive out there and look, because I know even at Precinct 1, Road and Bridge, we have a lot of property out on that way also that's not being used, so just different areas, but I can certainly provide you that list.
Okay. There's no other discussion on 5A3. I'm going to call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
aye,
All those against? Ayes have it, motion passes. We move to agenda item 5A4, upgrades and renovation of Wilson County Expo and Community Center not to exceed $2.35 million.
Yes, Judge. And so that is the formerly known as the Show Barn. It has certainly reached its seen better days. And so I might let Commissioner King speak to the, or Judge, speak to some of the ideas that have come forth in renovating and making significant upgrades to bring in not only the people who rent it for events such as, weddings and things like that, but I think the back part of it, the barn part, for the stock shows and things of that. Yes, so Judge, if you wanted to speak to that, or Commissioner King?
Yeah, we're all probably going to have a comment on this. We've all taken our individual turns assessing the building that's in the middle that was built. As a matter of fact, the gentleman that built it called me the other day to discuss when he built it. It is in very sad shape, and it's embarrassing that our children have to show their animals in a building where the water's coming through the roof, and it's not right. This is also something that we need to consider, that it's going to be a means of revenue for the county. If that thing is built up higher and out, there's limitless things that can be done in that and be rented out quite a bit. So I would like the court to consider parking that 2.35, just so that we can examine and get some builders in that can look at it and see what they can do with raising that middle part, bringing it down, raising the middle part, because we don't know whether it needs to go sideways or it goes in the middle. The back part's in very good condition. The hall is still in very good condition. So we did get one bid in where a gentleman said he could build that for $1.3 million to what we need on specification to replace the middle of that.
That was just in discussion, though, just to make clear, we did not go out for
No.
bids, so we have not received
That was an
official bids.
unsolicited bid. He came in and gave it to us and says, I can do it.
Yeah.
Because the word's getting out that we're taking interest in trying to improve this facility for both our youth and revenue for the county.
Yeah, and that's something that we definitely got to do, is knock that center down and bring it up, and if we can expand it a little bit wider so we can actually do more within it. As well as, one thing we need to look at is, we got to look at that back barn, because the tin on the bottom of that back barn is getting some rust on it. So additional cost will be incurred. So parking that $2.35 million right there would be a good thing, so we can get that going as well. But yeah, our youth definitely needs a better place to show right now. It's pretty bad.
Commissioners? Any comment? All right, I'll entertain a motion for 5A4 on upgrades renovation Wilson County Expo Community Center not to exceed $2.35 million.
I'll make a motion to park that $2.35 million for the renovations of the Wilson County Expo and Community Center, formerly known as the Show Barn.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner King, seconded by Commissioner Paradola. Is there any other discussion regarding 5A4? Hearing none, call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against? Ayes have it, motion passes. We move to agenda item number 6. We have Ms. Genevieve Martinez, our county clerk, discuss and take action on approving fee for the plats filed in the county clerk's office.
Okay, so currently, our plats are at $111 for the first page, and then $100 any page after that. I looked at other counties. Everybody's talking right now about their fees, January 1st, bunch of fees changing, and so we thought this would be a good time to look at these. The last time that the fees were set was January 27th of '86. So we're wanting to put it to $120. 100 would go to the general fund, 10 would go to our records archive, and another 10 to our records management. So it would only be going up by $9. We would still keep the second page at $100 and any page thereafter. And that's about it. I did look at several different counties in the surrounding area and counties our size. The average is 121 for the first page and 80 for the second from the counties that I looked at. And we're looking at one county charges $275 for the first page, where another one charges only $81. So it's everywhere, but it's all over the place. But I'd like to be at least at an average. We average about 25 plats a year.
So your charge is 120 is what you want to raise it to?
That's what we want to raise it to.
Okay.
Right now, we're at 111.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion on agenda item number 6 regarding approving the fee changes.
I'll make the motion that we raise the page 1 plating fee to $120, and you want to continue with the 100 for all the others?
Yes.
Okay, and remain at $100 for all other pages.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Aiken, seconded by Commissioner Paradola. Is there any other discussion regarding agenda item 6? Hearing none, a call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against? Ayes have it, motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we move to agenda item number 7, and I'm not sure Ms. Stafford's here from the MC.
Ms. Serato?
Oh, Ms. Serato, okay, very good. Discuss and take action on master agreement and documentation for rental of copier for development and emergency management. All right, Ms. Serato, you got the floor.
Good morning. This is about our new copying machine. Well, what we'd hope to get a new copying machine. The one that we have currently right now was purchased 10 years ago. And we currently pay a maintenance fee of about $140. So it's not the best. It's not very cooperative with our office. And we were hoping to get a new one that would include the service fee for $190. So for $190, we would get a new machine that would be serviced in case something broke or if we needed or anything like that. And it is a contract, so I brought it before the court for that,
Who's it with?
with documentation. And I believe Cindy brought it to put it on the agenda, but once they move into their new building, this copying machine would stay with the development department.
How much is the fee on the new one?
190?
190,
190?
yes, and that would be for a brand-new machine and for it to be serviced in case we needed it.
I don't know if she said it or not, I may have missed it, but they currently have it in their budget because they're paying their monthly fee now. So I think the increase it's very minimal. I think they're paying $160, if I'm not mistaken.
I talked to Ms. Stafford about it Friday, and it's negligible. The breakdowns they have in the machine, if you've ever dealt with copying machine companies, it's gonna be obsolete. What you have can't be fixed, the age that we have.
There's no
on the
more
current-
machine, there are no more parts for this machine.
And they're getting a lot harder to get out to take and fix the obsolete machine.
Yes. And this was purchased, so we would keep, I guess, the current machine or get rid of it. But this one we're wanting to rent, the new one.
All right, Commissioners, I'll entertain a motion for a master agreement with documentation that raises it from 140 to 190 on their monthly fee.
I'll make a motion to get this master agreement with documentation for the rental of the new copier from 140, a payment from 140 to 190,
Second.
63 month,
63 months.
5 year and 3 months.
3 months? Okay.
And I do believe it includes all of the toner and equipment for.
Yes, toner, everything except for the staples. Yes.
Was it Commissioner Aiken or Paradola second? Okay, all right, got it. Motion made by Commissioner King, seconded by Commissioner Paradola regarding agenda item number 7. Is there any other discussion? Hear none, call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against? Ayes have it, motion passes. That it? Okay, thank you. We move to agenda item number 8, discuss and take action on amending current Wilson County Employee Handbook, page 29, post-accident testing to change paragraph to read, all employees directly involved in an on-the-job accident or incident while operating a Wilson County-owned vehicle that results in property damage and/or medical treatment shall be required to be drug alcohol tested as soon as possible after the incident. That was one of the wording on that. I don't know how it got changed, but Commissioners, it needs to absolutely be worded in this way. And Brennan, I've already discussed it with the county attorney's office, and they're in full agreement with the wording on this. So I will entertain a motion for agenda item number 8.
I'll make a motion to amend the current Wilson County Employee Handbook on page 29, the post-accident testing to change paragraph to read, all employees directly involved in an on-the-job accident or incident while operating a Wilson County-owned vehicle that results in property damage and/or medical treatment shall be required to be drug alcohol tested as soon as possible after the incident.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Perdola, seconded by Commissioner King. Is there any other discussion regarding agenda item number 8? Hearing none, call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against? Ayes have it, motion passes. We'll move to agenda item number 9. We have Commissioner John Scott Aiken, Commissioner Precinct 4. Discuss and take action renewing the lease of property surrounding the county collection site to Clinton Wyatt. Commissioner, you have the floor.
Mr. Wyatt reached out to the auditor's office and wanted to renew the lease on the property next to the collection facility. And after having the county attorney's office take and review it, there wasn't anything that was out of order. It would be a 5-year lease. They have maintained the lease for, I believe, two different 5-year leases and have kept the property in good condition as per the lease agreement.
Commissioners, I'll entertain a motion for agenda item number 9.
I make a motion that we renew the lease with Clinton Wyatt for the term of 5 years beginning on January 1st.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Aiken, second by Commissioner Paradola. Is there any other discussion regarding agenda number 9? Hear none, call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against? Ayes have it, motion passes. We move to agenda item number 10. Again, Commissioner Aiken, Precinct 4, discuss, take action to reappoint Cindy Couch and Jeffrey Doogie for 2-year terms of the ESD number 3 Board of Commissioners.
I was sent from the president of ESD 3 that both of these commissioners that currently serve will go ahead and serve for another 2 years on the board. And so I'm recommending that we pass that today.
Commissioners, I'll entertain a motion for agenda item number 10.
You want me to go ahead and read it, Judge?
Yes.
Motion is to go ahead and reappoint Cindy Couch and Jeffrey Doogie for a 2-year term to the ESD number 3 Board of Commissioners.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Aiken, seconded by Commissioner Paradola. Is there any other discussion? Hear none, call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those against? Ayes have it, motion passes. We move to agenda item number 11. Commissioner Martin's not here. Commissioner King, discuss and take action to appoint Chris Rocha and Michael Jackson to the ESD number 5 Board of Commissioners. Commissioner King?
Yes, so we got information from the chief over ESD 5 for Commissioner Rocha, and in addition, bringing on Michael Jackson to the ESD 5 board. So I'd like to make a motion to reappoint Chris Rocha as a commissioner and bring aboard Michael Jackson for ESD 5.
Second it.
Motion made by Commissioner King, seconded by Commissioner Aiken regarding agenda item number 11. Any other discussion?
Should have their oaths.
We have their oaths. We do. You want to do those now? Are you sure? We can bring the cameras out and everything. We got to get everything set up, so. Okay. All right, agenda item number 11. Any other discussion? Hear none, call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against, the ayes have it, motion carries. Move to agenda item number 12. Again, Commissioner Aiken, discuss take action to reappoint Michael Trainer and George Jones to the ESD number 1 Board of Commissioners.
ESD 1 board voted to go ahead and renew President Michael Trainer and George Jones to the ESD 1 Board of Commissioners. And I would like to go ahead and vote on that this time, that we reappoint Michael Trainer and George Jones to the ESD 1 Board of Commissioners.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Aiken, second by Commissioner Paradola regarding agenda item number 12. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against? Ayes have it, motion passes. We move to agenda item number 13, and I'm going to let Commissioner Paradola address this. Discuss and take action to purchase motor graders for precinct 1 and 3 using road and bridge funds. Commissioner?
We have gotten some bids on some new motor graders. I think my one that I'm going to trade in is pushing 20 years old, and I think Commissioner Martin's is considerably beyond 20 years old. So it's hard to maintain roads when you've got equipment of this age. Are you still entertaining?
I am. I'm waiting for some things from the company. One of the things that we're facing, if we want to do the discussion part of it, is that we have machines that are obsolete, they're no longer in manufacture, and therefore getting parts for them are harder and harder.
Very difficult. So I'd like to make a motion that we would be able to use road and bridge funds to pay for the purchase of these new motor graders, if that would be possible.
Okay, motion made by Commissioner Paradola, seconded by Commissioner King. Discussion, I have some questions. Okay, so do we have funds in the budget for this, or, because there's no price on this? I don't know what we need to do.
We have received the quotes already. I think what we're waiting on is whether or not Commissioner Cordova wants to finance his piece of equipment. So when I spoke with Commissioner Martin last week, they both have funds available in their fund balance for the purchase of it.
Okay.
And it would just come out of their fund balance, whatever is in excess of what they currently have budgeted for machinery and equipment in their current budget line. But yes, they both do have funds available for it.
Very good. Answers my question. Any other discussion? All right, regarding agenda item number 13. Commissioners, are you saying baling wire is no longer being used to hold this equipment up?
Duct tape baling wires wearing out.
Okay.
The attorney just kicked me in the ankle. I don't know if I'm supposed to pass that down or not.
Well, they're not manufacturing those Volvo
Yeah.
maintainers
It
anymore.
is-
That's an old piece of equipment.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Commissioner Perdola, these are the ones, John Deere, is this correct?
Yes.
So I've got, for precinct 1, 15,766.56, precinct 3, 18,865.29, and if joins forces, an additional discount for his would be $14,474.88.
That's,
bought all
that's the discount.
That's like the discounted rate, correct? If we bought
My,
all.
my trade-in on my machine was 30,000, and I don't remember what Commissioner Martin's was. But my machine is a little bit bigger than Commissioner Martin's, so mine was, the cost of it was a little bit more expensive.
The additional discount was the mud discount. They were able to apply it, and he and I discussed it. That discount is good to the county for 12 months, and so there's not a rush for me to take and buy a machine because I can still get the same discount.
Okay,
In the negotiation process.
sounds good.
And then just keep in mind also, the supply, even if we order it today or this week, they're not looking at delivery till April sometime.
Okay. Any other discussion, Commissioner? All right, I'll call the vote on agenda item number 13. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against, motion passes. Agenda item number 14, we have Mr. Raymond Herrera from our Veteran Service Officer, Wilson County Veteran Service Office, first quarter strategic planning review. Mr. Herrera, you have the floor. Good morning.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. Everybody should have a copy in front of you. If you don't, I have one more if someone needs one. So today, I just wanted to come here at Commissioners Court and show what the Veteran Service Office has done since I have been privileged to take over the department. Many things have changed since then. One big thing is we've been a part-time office for a long time, and it is now a full-time hourly position. With that comes a lot of work, a lot of strategic planning, things of that nature to make sure our office is successful, and as well as spending our county dollars accordingly. So today, the first slide is not up yet, but in your booklets, you'll see the county emblem that, in cooperation with a local partner, I have been able to put together. And this is just something that our office, I wanted veterans in our community and their family members to be recognizable, something that they can relate to. Okay, so we did keep the county emblem, of course, still part of the office emblem. We can never stir away from the Wilson County logo. But we did add some slight differences. We added Wilson County and its jurisdiction, okay, as well as with the backdrop of the United States American flag, which can typically most military and veteran families can relate to. So this is something that is important to me. Coming on, I wanted to make sure that veterans and service members currently serving can see and understand that we have a commitment, our county in Wilson, to them. So without further ado, this is going to be the first quarter for 2023 and 2024 strategic planning review. So the next slide or the next page in your booklet will be the our mission. So I wanted to come up with a mission for the office and something that represents what I am trying to implement here for our county residents. And that's bridging the gap between military service members, veterans, and dependent benefits to maximize entitlements. Many service members, veterans, and dependents are unaware that this office even existed. And it is my goal to make sure that they are not only aware, but aware of the entitlements that come with serving, and even family members that are part of military members' lives also serve, as I like to say. So I want to make sure that commitment is to them as well. So how do we do this? How does the Veteran Service Department fulfill these goals, I guess you can say? So through VA compensation, pension, appeals, survivors benefits, education, burial benefits, state and local entitlement advisement. Now, there are many other programs and things that I assist with. Typically, this is going to be the bulk of services that can be recorded and numbers and some return on investment for our department. The next page is just going to be a summary from August to September. Now, this is the first quarter of this fiscal year, but I wanted to highlight, since I came on board quickly, what has happened since. So 103 veterans and / constituents have gone through the office from August to September. Okay, as you'll see, the next picture depicts pretty much the majority of these veterans and constituents are coming from Precinct 2 and Precinct 1. Precinct 3 and Precinct 4 are a little bit more on the lower end, I assume, because this is less populated areas, but I don't see why veterans are going to be moving to those areas very soon and have been.
It's, population is equal throughout, but they have to travel to Floresville,
Correct.
both of those zones.
Correct, yes, Commissioner. For claims by precinct, so I broke it down just so you have an idea of how many claims I've submitted in regards to the constituents coming into the office. So a total of 340, and there is some more breakdown within your precinct that you can review from those constituents that have gone through the office. Moving on is constituents assisted by precinct. So this is this fiscal year since October 1st to date. So 141 constituents have gone through the office. Okay, again, precinct 4 and 3 at this point have been the most, with 1 and 4 being the least. Now, there is, if you see on there, a precinct 0. Now, what is that? So precinct 0 is going to consist of veterans and constituents outside the county, but these are veterans and constituents that border our county. So they are having trouble going into their local veteran service offices because they either overwhelmed and already are not available. So case-by-case basis, and typically most of these are going to be surviving spouses. So these are death of veterans, and they're seeking assistance. So it is dear to my heart for surviving spouses and veterans that have fallen. So I make sure if time is available to assist them. So most of those zeros are going to be cases like that. So next one is going to be a number of forms and claims by precinct. So one form can consist of many claims. Every form needs some consulting, advisement, and expertise on understanding the claim and how to go about processing the claim and what to expect from it. So every form takes some time to develop in collaboration with the constituent. So 291 forms have been submitted since October to today's date. Most of those forms are going to be 96 out of Precinct 3, and the lowest number is going to be Precinct 4 with 30. So claims by precinct. As I said, there can be 50 claims on one form, or there can be one claim on one form. So to date, there has been 678 claims submitted on behalf of claimants. And you'll see the breakdown within your precincts. If you have any questions about that or anything like that, you can always reach out to me, and I can give you more of a breakdown as to how. Next slide or page. So I did have a testimonial coming in today. I called him Mr. Dennis Glopper. Unfortunately, he is unable to be here today. I asked Mr. Glopper to speak on and give his testimony today, and he agreed. Unfortunately, I called him this morning. He's very ill, and I didn't want him to be here and expose all of us, especially after this great Christmas break and food with our full tummies. But I did ask him if I can highlight his case without him being here, and he did agree. So on there, we were able to get Mr. DeGlopper 100% service connection within 3 months. Now, most cases, if you're aware of veterans and have you spoken to them about the timeline for VA disability, it's you're looking at 8 months to a year. You know, so how was it that veteran DeGlopper was able to get his 100% within 3 months? And typically it's through collaboration. Many veterans don't understand what things are claimable and to what percent. So through collaboration with my office and the veteran, and of course the right medical evidence to support that, Mr. Dennis DeGlopper was able to receive 100% compensation pretty much for the rest of his life, and all the entitlements that come with that. Next page, number of constituents by contacts. Okay, so I have two portions on here. The first one is going to be constituent contacts that resulted in action. And what this means is every veteran that came, or constituent that came in to see me, and we filed something on their behalf, okay, if it ended up in a compensation, that's your first depiction that you have in front of you. So a total of 139 constituents have gone through that office that resulted in some type of action. 121 of those, majority of those are by appointment. As you know, I'm a one-person office, okay? So being by appointment it's key to my success and how to manage the time and the services that I can offer for veterans. So that's the best way. So right now I typically have 3 scheduled appointments, and I leave a afternoon appointment for emergency cases for that. 4 of those were by email, through phone, and walk-ins. So you're going to see in the future throughout me representing or presenting more planning reviews is these numbers, the email and phone going up. And why is that? One thing is, since I took over the office, is we are now mobile, remote. I can go to organizations, VFW meetings. I can go to different events and actually submit claims for veterans on the spot and assist them. So that's something to look for in the future. So the second portion to the right is going to be interactions from VetPro. This is a database I utilize within the department, and this is just to document every interaction. So a lot of these can include the ones that resulted in action, but the one to the right is advisement, consultation, anything else. How do I get my DD Form 214? Where do I go for my tax exemptions? How do I get my disabled veteran plates? And all those are to your right. So interactions through phone, 166, fax for unspecified. Unspecified is on there, you have to label it on the database. So those 6 belong within the categories above. It's just a matter of documenting a little bit better. But a total of 459 interactions that did not result in, or could include the result in action. Next page. New, returning, and open/closed cases. So every constituent that comes into the office may or may not come back. We may have to submit more things on their behalf. So that's where I have new and returning. Every fiscal year will restart. If it's a new veteran that came in within the last fiscal year, he will start as a new veteran. So within this fiscal year, 142, and 12 have returned for a reason of having to lead into action. Currently, I have 98 open files and 43 closed, 43 being the action was resulted in or is completed and resulted in compensation.
Mr. Ed, I'm gonna stop you right there, because
Yes.
we're gonna go into a special hearing, then I'm gonna call you right back up.
No worries, yes.
We got to stop on here. Okay, so I'm going to entertain a motion to suspend the rules so that we can move to agenda item number 21?
It's 21, yes, sir.
22. Is it 22? Am I 21?
Yes, sir. Enter- So it was in the packet.
That was what was in the packet. Okay, all right, so just for the record, let's,
That we suspend the rule and go into the public hearing addressing County Road 417.
motion made by Commissioner Aiken, seconded by Commissioner Paradola. Okay, let's move, there's no discussion to vote on that. We move to agenda item number 22. It's Commissioner Aiken, Precinct 4. We have a 10 o'clock public hearing to discuss and take action on placement of traffic control devices, signage established in passing and no passing zones on County Road 417. Do we have any public comments? Nobody signed up. Well,
I've got the big maps. I know what is in your packet is a little bit hard to read.
bring them down. Let's take a look at them right quick so we can
Okay.
take a look.
So,
And you want to kind of expound on it, Commissioner? Let us know what,
we never have had traffic control devices on 417, and we need to have areas that are designated passing and no passing for being able to take and drive safely. It's a matter of, I had our engineering firm, KCI, come out, and these recommendations were made by the engineer that studied the road. They have to do with prevailing speeds and have to do with locations as far as line of sight. So we have a total of 15 signs that would be going in that state pass with care or do not pass. And if you want to take a look at it. Basically, it starts at State Highway 123 and
Are these all the same or no?
no. This is the entirety of County Road 417. It's 3.1 miles.
Cuts across, across Cibolo Creek. And that county road cuts across to 123. There was a fatality accident there recently.
The zones were emailed as well.
Now, that's an old company down toward 123 that has a big yard. Good job on that road. Hasn't needed that for some time.
And it's just a matter of safety, you know, let's make it a little bit better for everybody traveling on it.
Hey, can you put a bigger dip sign on there?
You know, you have to read the sign and adhere to what the sign says.
For some reason, it catches people. I don't know why. I looked at all this morning.
okay, if you have no public comments, then I'm going to go ahead and entertain a motion for agenda item number, you're right, 22, correct? On the
It is
corrected one?
22. Yes, sir. I make a motion that we adopt traffic control devices, being more specifically signage that states passing and no passing zones on County Road 417, as suggested by engineering firm KCI Technologies.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Aiken, seconded by Commissioner Paradola regarding agenda item number 22. Is there any other discussion? Hear none, call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against? Ayes have it, motion passes. Now we'll return back to Mr. Herrera on agenda item number 14. Continue his report.
Almost wrapping it up. It's almost over. Back to the new and returning open and closed. So open 98 files still open, 43 closed. And one thing I forgot to mention is during August through September, I currently still have some cases still open. So there's 38 to include with the 98 total of open cases currently working. Next page. So I do have another testimonial here in person that was able to make it. That's surviving spouse, Mrs. Edna Morales. And she is here today. And just a quick summary, Mrs. Morales received a DIC. There's only two programs a surviving spouse can receive. One is income-based, and the other one, if the veteran passed away due to a service-connected condition caused by the service. So Mrs. Morales was able to receive DIC through a non-traditional route. This is typically when it's recognized, it has to be black and white, recognized by the VA to receive DIC. And through my experience and training and just constant up-to-date research, medical and legal research, we were able to get Mrs. Morales DIC with a non-traditional recognized way. So without further ado, Mrs. Morales, if you can come forward to share a few of your experiences in the process.
Good morning. This
Good
is
morning,
my first
welcome,
time.
welcome.
Yes, I lost my husband. He was a veteran of 31 years. I never thought that I was going to be here thanking Mr. Ray, because my husband and I were very young, and he was very healthy, just like I am very healthy. So he passed away. I still don't know. I'm still waiting for the autopsies to see what happened. But anyway, I found myself in a situation where I just didn't know what I was going to do because I have no family here. And so my survivor, the head, my whole thing passed away. So immediately I was just bombarded with a lot of forms that I had no idea, and one of them was VA, and I said, okay, what is that? Because everything was just my husband. So I was told that I needed to find a VA office locally and that they will help me, and that's how I came across with Mr. Ray. And him and I, of course, when I visited his office, I just didn't know. I was still too emotional, I didn't know what to expect. I just needed, I knew that I deserved some kind of compensation. My husband and I, we were high school sweethearts. So he explained to me what it was in front of me, and things were not looking good. And I told him, I said, I understand what you're saying. You have the experience, I have the faith. Go ahead and send that form. Go ahead and send it for me, because my husband is gone, but I have another husband in heaven. And so let's see where we go. And if it is going to be denied, because he said, Ms. Morales, most likely it's going to be denied. I said, okay, then if it is, let's just wait, and we're going to go in appeal, just like you said. I'm not giving up. And to my surprise, it was approved. And of course, I give all the credit to him because, again, I'm the survivor, but he is the expertise. His experience is what put it all together. So I'm just grateful to God that it was approved and that we didn't have to appeal. And so I'm just waiting now for the autopsy, just so I can close that chapter to see what exactly happened to my husband. Thank you for hearing me out.
Thank you, Ms. Morales.
So this is just one of many different types of cases that the department deals with. But I think it's very important to highlight the county's, wishes to try to even help further assist veterans and their family members long after they're gone. So the next page is going to be a return on investment. So the first quarter of the fiscal year, as I stated, typically most claims are decided within 8 to 12 months, okay? And it's a case-by-case basis. So all this compensation that you see in front of you, or the return on investment, which is $177,093.89. This is from August to date. Now, all this has came in within this fiscal year, so all that number is only documented and has been approved within this fiscal year. And of course, we've exceeded the budget of the department by 223%. The next page you'll see is just goals, challenges, and the vision for the department moving forward. For goals, one thing when I had the privilege to take over this department is to reinstate my federal and state accreditations. So I had those accreditations prior to me being here, so I want to make sure they get those reinstated. And all this assists me through helping like constituents like Mrs. Morales, as you'll see, contribute to the success. And that has been done. I am state and have my national accreditations back. So since then to date, they've all been reinstated. Another goal was meet existing and potential veteran-related organizations. This is an ongoing and will forever be an ongoing process. But just embedding myself within this Wilson County community and all the veteran organizations and county organizations that contribute to the veteran success that live here. So next is just to reach and exceed, one of the goals, to reach and exceed the county veteran department budget, and as I stated in the last page, by 223%. Another goal was branding, marketing of the Veteran Service Department. A lot of veterans and their family members, people in general in the county, still don't know that this department can be utilized and is here for their use. So just like the logo and the emblem, things of that nature, working on brochures, marketing is still being revamped and should help with getting more clientele and the awareness of the department. So challenges, since this is just for this fiscal year, not even counting August and September, we have had 24 canceled appointments. So that's a week and 1 day of appointments, 4 per day, Monday through Friday, and a Monday. So there's nothing we can prevent this. This is, constituents who have run into an issue and have to cancel last minute. I typically try to have some standbys, and I'll call them, hey, I have something earlier if you want to be available, and we'll move them up if we can. But that in itself has been a challenge. Limited and adequate office resources. So currently, I'm just working with a budget with the best I can do. I'm a one-person office. I have a single printer, and typically most veterans that come in bring you a stack of paper. Luckily, I just do want to do a little plug into the Treasurer's Department. They have been a key to me being able to assist them. I've been able to utilize their office resources, and they're very warming and welcoming. So I just want to say thank you for that. Limited manpower and effectiveness. So just being a one-person office, I'm limited into how I can assist. If I have a veteran in front of me, which I schedule an hour and a half per veteran, and you might think might be too little or too less, but I do say that I don't think it's enough. Investing in the relationship with the constituent is key to the success in their part. So manpower and the effectiveness is a challenge, but as you can see, by 223%, I mean, it's definitely something that's manageable, but I think and I hope that presentations like this will show the potential of where this office can be. Limited time, as I suggested, I have limited time to call veterans back, limited time to respond via email, limited time with veterans within my appointment, but this is definitely something that's manageable with what we have, and we're still succeeding within the Veterans Department. So my vision for the department is to have a self-sustaining, streamlined Veterans Department. That is typically addressing the challenges, constantly addressing the different challenges as they will change throughout time, and that would help with having a more streamlined department. The department opportunity for growth, as the judge indicated earlier, just moving us to an area where we can grow and possibly in the future in manpower would help. So currently where I'm located, there's no way that manpower and growth within the office could happen with where I'm currently at. The department ability to offer more accessible resources. Having more resources and manpower would offer more opportunities to bring in programs that might assist veterans. I know many veterans, or actually not too many, but I do have veterans that deal with, times to pay for a light bill, homeless veterans that are dealing with just having some food, and maybe in the future having other programs that we can bring in the department through collaboration, having more people contributing to the Veterans Department would be able to bring more resources like that, other than what I've already highlighted, what brings in monetary value to our county. So I just want to say thank you. That concludes my presentation, if you guys don't have any questions.
Ray, I don't know if we've discussed this, but for the public viewing and those that are here and those that are listening, I had a 2-hour meeting with the Veterans Administration in Washington DC. They're looking for a satellite location to put a VA clinic. Wilson County was their choice. So you and I need to sit down, we'll get together with that contact. They want to bring a clinic here because it would help Carnes, Guadalupe, Comal. Bottom line is, people don't like driving into the big city to Audie Murphy. It's and a lot of our veterans are elderly, so this would help out tremendously. But they are looking at this county to do that. Now, I wouldn't put you in that building, obviously. All right, that's a whole different entity, but you need to be aware of that, and then I'll sit down with you later and tell you who that contact.
Yes, Judge.
Last, I want to tell you, I can't tell you how many times I get phone calls complimenting you and your office. We appreciate that. From us veterans here and the ones that are in the audience, we appreciate that, so.
Thank you.
I want to commend him on he commented on it. He got someone help in 3 months. I've got a friend that was in the Vietnam War and filed a claim in 1969 and just got his benefits recently. So you must be doing something right to get things to move that quickly.
Thank you, Commissioner. And I just want to also highlight, through prior, we've always held a veterans breakfast through here in Floresville, and it's my intent to offer more opportunities to veterans to reach services. So we will be moving that veterans breakfast around. I know we were able to host my first one in Lavernia with Commissioner Perdola was an amazing experience, and just to see the support of the veterans community, it's already here. And we're looking to already planning here in Stockdale very soon, and we'll be moving back to Floresville and hopefully in Precinct 1 as well. So thank you guys for your time.
Thank you. Thank you. Move to agenda item number, sure I got the right, number 15. I got so many agendas here in front of me. Okay, Commissioner Aiken, Precinct 4, discuss take action to allow law enforcement officials to utilize county vehicles for off-duty work within Wilson County.
I'll yield the floor to the sheriff. He wanted to discuss this policy.
Sheriff, you got the floor.
I believe that the reason that's on the agenda is that's a policy that's been in effect here for as long as I can remember, lots of years. But I think at the current thing, it probably needs to be more current and updated, and that's the reason we're here today.
Okay, so let me expound on that a little bit, Sheriff. I fully agree with you. And this would be for off-duty employment. The deputy's working a function. He's off-duty from the sheriff's department, but he's in the county doing that function. In today's environment and things that are happening, we need all our law enforcement ready and available to respond to any major event. God forbid if it be something like Sutherland Springs. They can't go home, get their vehicle, and then respond. Time is of the essence, especially when we're responding to an active shooter response at a supermarket, a school. So I think it's a very good, I've checked with other counties, they have the same policy. This one's in place that they do allow them to use that vehicle. Especially now in April when all your vehicles are gonna be outfitted by that private entity group that's giving you a level one
With the
crash
tactical,
bag.
with the medical equipment.
Every one of your vehicles is gonna have that bag that'll stop the bleeding and save lives, so.
Just so that the court is clear and the sheriff is clear, any vehicle operated, any vehicle, county-owned vehicle operated off-duty, if it is involved in an accident, is not covered under our workers' comp insurance. So I just want to make sure everybody is aware of that,
Okay.
just to make sure those driving know that as well.
Okay. You good with that, Sheriff?
Good with
So let me throw a scenario at you. And for the court to consider. My law enforcement standpoint, I'm working in off-duty employment. I'm a deputy. And I am now responding to a critical incident. Am I not on duty?
You are then.
Okay. Y'all understand that? Okay.
Once they left that part-time duty job and went to a call, they now work
They
for
are now
us.
on duty.
Yes.
Okay. Separate from what if they're just driving home from it and they
Right.
hit somebody, that's where,
The workers' comp
Would be covered.
doesn't apply.
That'll be on a recording because they'll call dispatch at that time.
right.
Yes.
So it'd be-
And anytime they're gonna be actually put on in service at an extra job, they're gonna be notified by dispatch, or they're gonna come across something that they got to handle, which they are gonna notify dispatch, so it should be documented.
There'll be documentation
Okay.
at that point.
Right. All right, Commissioners, entertain a motion for agenda item 15, allow law enforcement officials to utilize county vehicles for off-duty work within Wilson County.
What would we be amending exactly? The policy handbook? Is that the way?
As far as I know, this has never been addressed
Right.
in the 3 years I've been here, but it's been in policy and been done for as long as I've been in this county that I can remember. I don't know that it's ever been addressed officially, and I wouldn't know where to go back to look to see if it ever was.
We've
That's why when
researched.
he brought it up, I don't know that it could have been done 20 years ago, and it's in the minutes, but who's gonna find it?
Right.
Yeah, we went, I think Genevieve helped, we went back and looked and we couldn't find anything.
That's what I was gonna say, in what minutes are you gonna find it? So,
Also, I mean, so we're using county vehicles, but that's county fuel too.
yes, sir.
So that's another thing.
And the cost is very minimal.
I just want to make sure that, how that's going to be.
Well, they still take their vehicles home now.
They do, and that is in policy.
That's in policy.
I have a comment. How does that tie into the employee handbook you just changed? Saying that if there's an accident, that it's gonna require alcohol testing, but then they would not be on the job?
Good question now.
Good question,
Well, we have an attorney sitting here.
good question. I do not, I yield the floor to you, is how that, how
Well,
we handle it.
let's go back and look at,
There's no way to get out of it.
I mean, they are driving a county vehicle,
Stuck with it.
they are driving a county vehicle.
It
So,
says if they're
off-duty or
operating a
not, they would
county-owned
still be-
vehicle.
county-owned vehicle. It says
they're
operating a
still- they're
Wilkie
operating it. I
County-owned
would think it still
vehicle.
apply, regardless of on-duty.
I think it would. I think they would have to still submit
Yeah.
drug
That's
testing.
pretty clear if they're, while operating a Wilson County-owned
But then
vehicle.
you said they're off-duty, so they're not really working for the county. They're not covered under workers' comp, and yet we're gonna make them take a drug test if they're in a car accident, or they are actually injured. You know, it's not their fault. They're injured coming home from, call or they just use the vehicle, then that could create some.
Okay, so what's your suggestion? But it's a good point. I'm telling you, you brought up a great point.
Yes.
Well,
So I think with the prior agenda item, because it states at any time operating county vehicle, would that cover this agenda item? Is that what it says? It says at any time, right?
it says on-the-job
agenda.
accident. So you're saying if they have an on-the-job accident, then they're gonna have to submit to a drug test.
But it says or incident while operating a Wilson County.
Or,
So
there
it
you
could
go.
be
Yeah, you're
and
right.
Or incident, yeah.
So they're gonna have to submit to the
Regardless,
testing
yeah.
regardless.
So even if they're off-duty, but if they're driving a county-owned vehicle, I believe the expectation would be they would get drug tested. Yeah.
But then they won't be covered, but then
Wouldn't be covered under workers' comp, though. It'd be more for liability. For our insurance.
For the vehicle itself and any damages or injuries recurring out of it, yes.
Yeah, because the vehicle itself is covered under insurance, on-duty, off-duty. We still have to supply the, police report, but that is a big part of it, was the driver, drug tested, because that determines how the claim is processed.
So,
county's gonna, I'm sorry,
no, go ahead.
the county's gonna have to absorb the damage.
Correct.
Maybe not the liability to the individual, but you could have a vehicle that's gonna have to be
that's something to keep in mind. So if the vehicle is involved in an accident while off-duty, and the insurance, for whatever reason, doesn't cover it or whatever, we, the county, then are liable for that vehicle damage, even though it was damaged during an off-duty incident, so that everybody's aware.
Okay.
So let me ask you on your policy, do you have anything where your employees have read this stipulation and signed a piece of paperwork knowing fully well what the rules are?
Not that I'm aware of. They
Would
have
it be,
signed the policy.
would it be beneficial, Ms. Huron, in their personnel file that a statement is drafted where each employee?
Basically explaining the difference between off-duty and on-duty use of the vehicle.
Like off-duty work, that's kind of, and I'm sorry, I don't understand what off-duty work is. You're either on duty, performing your responsibilities.
They're not being paid by the payroll of the county. In other words, they're gonna go work a school dance.
Oh,
And they take their unit out, their
in some
security,
form
and they're
of-
working security.
It's working security like at the show barn
Yeah.
for weddings and that's.
They're utilizing their peace officer license for an off-duty, not if they were gonna go tile work and stuff. It's for that purpose.
Peace officers.
Peace officers work.
Weddings and gatherings where security is necessary.
I would think you're talking about two different things. The motor vehicle's gonna be covered no matter what, because we have a policy covering the motor vehicle. But the workman's comp claim,
It could be covered depending on once the claim is processed. Yes, but yes, you're correct, that's why we pay the insurance for the vehicle.
I saw Mrs. Bofford. Yes. At issue is whether or not they would have a workman's comp claim. And if they were off-duty, the answer would be no, because,
Their own insurance would be necessary to cover.
right, they would have to fall on their own insurance to cover.
And if we are at fault and somebody else gets injured or the other vehicle gets messed up, there is a possibility that our insurance may or may not cover, it, depending on the situation. You couldn't tell, but
The only way that's gonna happen is if the driver's totally negligent, because otherwise, that's what liability insurance does. If we're at fault and we pay,
And we have. It's
Yeah.
happened, so. Would it be beneficial, Ms. Huron, that he have them sign a form on that, each employee that operates the vehicles? I mean, I'm thinking from my own DPS days, we signed those forms all day long, so. Because you'll have one that come up and say, well, I didn't know
that's
that
the
was.
one place we didn't get to drive it off duty.
No, we couldn't, no,
That's true.
so.
what do they do now, Sheriff? They just take their own vehicle for off-duty work?
No, that's why I said, this is a policy that I didn't change.
gray area that needs
It
to be
was,
addressed.
it's been in effect for lots of years, and I did not change it when I took office, that if they work Kosciusko Hall or they work the show barn, they take their patrol unit to the location.
what about outside the county?
Outside the county, the only people I knew of before that did it before I took office was the chief deputy and the investigators that drove unmarked cars. And I didn't change that policy either, but this right here will change that.
So they won't be allowed to take them out of the county? Okay.
That's fine, I mean, you can have them sign, as long as the county understands, or you understand that if they are involved in some kind of accident, they're not on duty, but they are using county equipment, or county vehicle, that could result in liability to the county.
And I think because it clearly says
Fine with that,
off-duty
but-
work, it doesn't mean like getting in there and going to HEB or going to Walmart or something
Yeah.
like that. So it would lessen the chances.
Yeah, they go into service from their off-duty work, they're they're on duty, period.
Yes.
So that goes mute right there on that,
Yes.
okay.
Are you suggesting a hold harmless?
Well, I mean, I don't know how well that would stand up, because the perception to the public is that the sheriff's office is providing security for this event, or if he's wearing a uniform, county vehicle, then it's an on-duty employment, and so the perception of the public is, the sheriff's office is providing security for this event. And so, and then to come back later and say, well, he was really off-duty, he was just using his vehicle and using his uniform, but we're really not at fault here, it's gonna be very different. Even if they sign, you'll get around. An attorney will get around, that's.
The only other thing we can do to resolve this is not give them permission to use that vehicle, and then what happens if we have a major problem and we need those officers on duty immediately? That's something, gotta weigh it out. I mean, there may be people out there say, no, let them go in their own vehicles, and then all of a sudden, we do an after-action review on a shooting, find out that we had an officer that could have responded from an off-duty employment in the county and possibly saved some lives, so weigh it out. Weigh it out.
That's what, y'all gotta make that decision.
Well, and I don't know to what I mean, whether the deputies have their own private vehicle that they use, and they keep the county vehicle at home. I mean, I don't really know how that works, but if they're called on an emergency, they can take the county vehicle, or are they gonna take the county vehicle just for personal use, or because they're gonna go do security? You can do it, but I think you need to be very specific on the use. If it's off-duty security work, off-duty independent contract work, then you're a little more specific than just off-duty work. And whether or not they're gonna be using it for personal reasons, because you want it available to them in the event of an emergency. You want them to be able to respond in an emergency in their county vehicle. So, that makes sense, that you want them to do that, so.
We need to work
One of
on
the
the
other
wording.
things that I'm a little worried about, and I just want to ask you, I know probably the answer is no. They don't use them for any off-duty traffic control, because I do know the gentleman that runs all the construction around here, those are all off-duty officers from around the surrounding county, but they
They,
bring their,
they do not
they're in
do
their
that.
personal vehicles, okay.
They do not do that. Actually, I don't know that none of mine work off-duty traffic control.
Let's,
I know it.
can we sit down, why don't we just table this and go back and think about the wording on this before we
Yes.
vote on it?
They have to get permission from my office to work whatever job they're working. And we
Do
limit.
they submit
They,
off-duty
they
requests?
submit an off-duty request.
Okay.
Now, if it's the same job, they don't have to submit it every time they work. But if it's a new job that they haven't worked before, they have to submit it, because I'm not gonna allow them work in a beer joint as a bouncer. I'm not gonna do that. There's things that I'm not gonna allow them to work at.
That is a protection.
So they have to have authorization to go work that job.
I think as long as those are updated
I was just gonna say that, yeah.
and kept updated, you would be covered.
And that coincides, his authorizing somebody to work off-duty should coincide with the authorization of utilizing the vehicle at that time.
To that job,
To
yes.
that job, because if there are areas where he doesn't give them authorization, then in my opinion, they should not be authorized to use the county vehicle at an unauthorized approved.
Well, true, that's true.
True.
And you can put for authorized off-duty work.
Yes.
Okay,
Pretty tough.
okay. All right. We can do that.
I'd like to make a motion, we table this. We need to get some verbiage correct in this write-up and talk this thing out a little bit more.
There's been a motion made by Commissioner King to table agenda item number 15, seconded by Commissioner Paradola. And Ms. Huron, we can work on that with the sheriff, get the language right, okay? All right. Is there any other discussion regarding the previous motion on agenda item number 15? Hear none, call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against, the motion to table passes. We move to agenda item number 16. Sheriff, it's your monthly progress report. Do you?
I do not have it with the holidays, but I have been I'm in the process of rewriting it to make it more user-friendly, because it kind of gets out there on what I've been giving you, and I haven't had a chance to sit down with them and get it redesigned and get it a little bit more functional.
No major
But I will
occurrences?
have one.
No major occurrences we need to know about it?
No major occurrences. The only big thing that I do know, and it's still in process, but they had a big theft from Richardson Chevrolet, or Price Chevrolet, whatever it is, an employee-related one that we managed to, somewhere in the neighborhood of $115,000, that we've managed to at least get one of the parties involved arrested, working on the rest. So that's a pretty good little deal.
Okay, sir, thank you. Agenda item number 17, is Ms. Barnett, County Tax Assessor Collector, here to give her monthly report?
She doesn't have a report.
Okay, she doesn't have a report, all right. Agenda item number 18, we have Lou Serrato, Permitting and Development Director. We'll have 18A, Pipeline Crossing, Permit 156, Trinity Operating LLC, Precinct 2, County Road 240. Review and approve?
Again, good morning. This is Trinity Operating LLC proposing to insert a 4-inch gas pipeline under County Road 240. This paperwork has already been sent to Commissioner King for his review. The company will bore under the county road at a depth of no less than 5 feet below the grade and approximately 35 feet along the right-of-way.
I'd like to make a motion to set this pipeline for boring underneath County Road 240.
Motion made by Commissioner King, seconded by Commissioner Paradola regarding 18A. Any other discussion? Hearing none, a call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against? Motion passes. We now move to 18B, subdivision Eden Crossing, Unit Number 8. Discuss, take action on release of maintenance letter of credit, $28,153.50.
Yes, this is for subdivision Eden Crossing Unit 8. The final inspection of the roads was made by Commissioner King on the 20th of December with the developer, who is here, by the way, and if you have any questions. But these roads were conveyed to the county last year, December 27th. And right now, he's just asking for the maintenance letter of credit to be released.
You made me younger.
I made you younger?
You looked at me and called me Commissioner King.
Oh, Commissioner Aiken, sorry.
They're all four-letter words.
You should have just taken that, though, just run with it.
So we did inspect it, and it met with the letter of the law with what we have down in the current policy. You know, they were grandfathered in, and he's done excellent work in 8, and I appreciate working with him. And, yeah, it's a matter of, it's a nice subdivision, and it's time to release the letter of credit.
Sir, any comments? You good? Okay, all right. All right, 18B, entertain a motion.
Make a motion that we release the maintenance letter of credit in the amount of $28,153.50 for Eden Crossing Unit 8.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Aiken, seconded by Commissioner Paradola regarding agenda item 18B. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, a call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Agenda item number 19, we have Christina Moose, County Treasurer, discuss take action on County Treasurer's financial report.
Good morning. I am throwing a lot at you this morning. I do apologize, but I'm happy to say that our software company got everything we're looked at closely and fixed due to some things that were reported with our outside audit. So what you will see was emailed as well as in your binder. I have August, September, as well as October. But included with that is the quarterly investment report ending for September. That's included as well. No major changes from those reports. Besides, let's see, your general monthly debits and credits, as well as the interest earned from the CDs that we do have, as well as the interest that is still slowly going up on our investment accounts that we have. And I believe, yes, starting with August, there is a new lease purchased that has been put on there for between precinct 1 and 3, a case loader. So that is something that's new. And then does go on to show for September and October. Other than that, give you some time to look through it. If you have any questions.
For that 3-4 month period, how much has ARPA given us in interest total? Just a roundabout figure?
Right now, it's around, let's see, for August and September, October, probably about 45, it's about 15 to 16 a month. A month, it's in a checking account right now. I'm going to go ahead, I did double check and make sure it is, not approval, but you can transfer to Texas Class. You can invest.
If you look in your October treasurer's report on the second page.
Yes, that's where it shows.
On the American Rescue Plan.
Turn back one more, Judge. Go back one more, and on the very bottom of that, right there, no, go right there. On the very bottom of the checking accounts, not the certificate of deposits.
Okay.
American Rescue. At that one, it's 1,500 and some change. So yes, right now it's sitting there.
I misunderstood you. I thought you said 15,000. I got a little excited there. Sorry.
Well, no, that's okay. I'm hoping that will take place. I know that it was just voted on for those funds to be discussed and distributed, but right now, with transferring those funds to Texas Class, we can go ahead and earn some interest in those little bit of months that
Okay.
till it's been used.
Is that going to be the same with TDM, the 5 million that came in from TDM?
That's already been transferred into Texas Class.
Okay.
Yes, and that actually is not shown on here yet because it was done after the fact. So yes, we will show that. I believe it's on November when it takes an effect.
Okay.
So that will be on November's report that I present next month.
Commissioners, I'll entertain a motion for 19, agenda item.
Judge, may I just make one comment?
Sure.
Motion? I did want to just make sure that the court is clear that the treasurer did do the reconciliations for all of those months that she's presented to you in a timely manner. We had to undo all of those reconciliations, and she had to redo them all. And that was due to the glitch that was discovered because of old outstanding checks that had never cleared the bank back from 2016 through current, and they were convoluting all of our numbers, so we had to actually void a bunch of those to get those numbers out of our system. Everything now is matching and tying to the general ledger, and everything is matching according. And you may remember that that was one of the things that was noted in our external audit that has now been corrected. And so kudos to Christina and her team for having to redo all of that work and now be current as well, so
Was
Yes.
that a major number?
it was.
But for the good, for sure.
No, yeah, no, it was, yeah, we're good. So now, like Brenda had said, they were reconciled on a timely manner. I just could not present them because technically, like they said, the GL just wasn't matching. They discovered the glitch. So I just was not going to present those. We just put a hold on stuff to fix everything. It has now been fixed. So at the end of the following month is when I'll report the previous to y'all going forward. I'm excited, so. Yes, if you have any questions, happy to answer anything. before we go on.
Pending our vote, you have
That's next
a
month.
document for us to sign?
I do. Y'all want to go ahead and once that's been approved,
We're going to vote one way or the other here, so I just want to know, you didn't want me to use the one that was in the booklet, right?
No, that's yours to keep, your reference. I have the one right here for to be signed for the county clerk's office. I have all three, so it might just take a little while to pass that down. But yes, I wanted to double check to kind of go back when you had said about the 5 million. I wanted to double check. It's not, of course, in the general at the time when it came in for October. So yes, it will be reflected in November. Y'all will see that next month.
And I know that Mr. Herrera's bent for equipment and stuff and printing. I mean, is a substantial burden on y'all that we need to start increasing his budget or something?
It's a little bit of a burden. No, I'm just kidding. No, it is not a problem. He comes in and makes his copies and scans everything and just gives us a little joke every now and then, keeps us on our toes. No, it is not. I mean,
What happens when he runs out of jokes?
then we will shut our door and he'll be out of luck.
Okay.
No, it is,
Tacos.
that's always
Whataburgers.
accepted. That
Okay.
is always, no, it is not a
Let
burden
us
at all.
know, so when we come to budget time again.
We can
start making
reevaluate
readjustments.
and look at things. Right now, it's not a problem. We're there to help out anywhere needed, so. Oh, you know, gotta make him look okay for a little while. No.
I'll make a motion that we accept the treasurer's report as presented.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Perdola, seconded by Commissioner King. Is there any other discussion?
Okay, let me pass these to you.
Hear none, call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against, ayes have it, motion passes. We move to agenda item number 20, but I have been told there's no report. Is that correct? That is correct. Okay. We're back now, go to Ms. Trevino, our county auditor, discuss and take action on county bills.
Commissioners and Judge, I've reviewed and approved $370,973.24 in invoices.
They're off to the judge.
All right, Commissioner, let me know if you need a little more time.
Good. I'll make a motion to approve the bills.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner King, seconded by Commissioner Aiken. Is there any other discussion? Hear none, call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against, ayes have it, and motion passes. And we come to agenda item number 23 for adjournment. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Motion made by Commissioner King, seconded by Commissioner Paradola. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against, motion passes, we adjourn. This,
No, the bills.
okay. Got it. All right, the time is 10:52 a.m.